At 5:30 a.m., a figure in a pale blue bathrobe glided across my front porch like a shadow. If not for the faint glow of a motion sensor light from my window, I'd have missed her entirely. Margaret, our homeowners association president, stood hunched over my mailbox, her purse open as she sifted through my letters with the precision of a seasoned thief. She pocketed a few envelopes, carefully rearranging the rest to look untouched. Unbeknownst to her, the festive wreath above my mailbox hit a camera, and an unmarked van parked 2 houses down had been tracking her every move for days. This wasn't just neighborhood drama, this was federal mail theft, and the trap was about to snap shut. My name is Susan, and I moved to Meadowview Estates last spring after taking a job as a financial analyst in the city. The neighborhood screamed suburban perfection, manicured lawns, uniform mailboxes, and a quiet charm straight out of a real estate brochure. The realtor had praised the active HOA, promising well-kept grounds and strong property values. What she didn't mention was Margaret Thompson. From day one, I sensed something off. Important mail me new debit card, a work contract, a refund check never arrived. When I called the post office, they confirmed delivery to my address. My bank said the card had shipped weeks ago. Bills vanished, late fees piled up, and my credit score took a nosedive. I felt like I was losing my grip. Margaret introduced herself during my first week, striding over in a crisp blazer, her gray hair impeccably styled. As HOA president, she handed me a hefty rulebook, detailing everything from approved curtain colors to grass height. Her smile was polite but cold, and her comments about my slightly off-center doormat and unapproved porch plant felt like a power play. She made it clear she patrolled the neighborhood daily, ensuring compliance. Her constant presence watching me mow my lawn or adjust my car's parking made my skin crawl. When I started checking my mailbox obsessively, I caught her staring from her driveway, her gaze sharp and unsettling. The puzzle pieces started falling into place one Saturday when my neighbor, Mr. Harrison, an elderly widower, handed me a misdelivered package addressed to me. He mentioned seeing Margaret near my mailbox early in the morning, assuming she was helping with deliveries. His words sent a chill down my spine. Could the HOA president really be stealing my mail? It seemed absurd, but her controlling nature and constant surveillance made it plausible. I called the post office and was connected to Postal Inspector Daniel Carter. He listened intently, noting that HOA leaders sometimes abuse their authority. He asked me to log every piece of expected mail and install a discreet camera. I ordered one online, having it shipped to my office to avoid interception, and hid it in a wreath above my mailbox. 4 days later, the camera caught Margaret in action. At dawn, she crept onto my porch, opened my mailbox, and sorted through my letters like she owned them. She stuffed several envelopes into her bag and rearranged the rest. Watching the footage on my phone at work, I felt a surge of anger. This woman had been sabotaging my life while posing as a community pillar. I sent the video to Inspector Carter, who was thrilled. We planned a sting. Marked envelopes and a decoy package with tracking devices would be sent to my address. If Margaret took the bait, she'd face serious federal charges. The sting unfolded the following week. On a crisp Tuesday, the marked mail and decoy packagia box designed to look like a high-value delivery arrived. I barely slept, my nerves on edge. Wednesday passed quietly, and I worried Margaret had sensed something. But Thursday at 5:30 a.m., my phone buzzed with a motion alert. There she was, in her blue bathrobe, rifling through my mailbox. She grabbed the marked envelopes and package, tucking them into her bag with practiced ease. As she walked back to her pristine colonial home, the unmarked van rolled forward. Within minutes, federal agents knocked on her door. From my window, I heard raised voices and saw Margaret, flustered and gesturing wildly, as agents held up the stolen items. They read her rights and led her away in handcuffs. The neighborhood buzzed as the news spread. A search of Margaret's home revealed a chilling operation. Boxes of stolen mail in her basement, sorted by address and date. She'd been targeting multiple residents for over 2 years, stealing bills, medical records, and personal letters. Her journals, seized by investigators, exposed her twisted logic. Early entries described her frustration with sloppy neighbors who ignored HOA rules. She justified her theft as supervising the community, but her tone grew vindictive, detailing grudges against residents and plans to control them through their mail. She'd even used stolen data social security numbers, bank details to sell to identity theft networks, racking up over $200,000 in damages. Margaret's arrest exposed a web of deceit. Neighbors came forward with stories of missing mail, late fees, lost medical results, even undelivered social security statements. The HOA held an emergency meeting, ousting Margaret and electing Mrs. Linda Park, a retired librarian, as interim president. Linda focused on community unity, not control, organizing events and installing secure mailboxes funded by the HOA. Margaret pleaded guilty to mail theft, identity theft, and wire fraud, facing up to 4 years in prison, hefty fines, and restitution. Her $300,000 in illicit assets were seized to compensate victims. Her house sold quickly, and she faded from Meadowview's daily life. The neighborhood transformed. Without Margaret's oppressive oversight, residents relaxed, forging stronger bonds. Property values rose, bolstered by our reputation for swift justice. The case made national news, sparking debates about HOA power and community trust. Margaret's journals became a case study for law enforcement, showing how authority could mask criminal intent. Her sentencing 3 years in prison, probation, and restitution closed a dark chapter. My credit was restored, late fees waived, and I felt vindicated. This wasn't just about catching a thief. It was about reclaiming our community. Margaret's need for control led to her downfall. Captured in the image of her in handcuffs on her own porch, her reign of intimidation over Meadowview Estates is now a place where neighbors watch out for each other, not out of fear, but out of care. What do you think about Margaret's actions and the broader issues of power and injustice in communities? Have you ever faced someone abusing their authority? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can stand up to such behavior and build stronger, fairer neighborhoods.